Hidden Hands Party 4, based on a conversation between um, self-proclaimed Mason and an alien with alien being, luciferian, Draco, um, Sinisa, demon, whatever. So, question. I'm wondering if you can help me. My name is Shelby David, and I'm here for the coming trials and tribulations. I'm a part of Quetzalcoatl, or the rebirth of it, as far as I know. I know many of your words to be true because I have already rediscovered these truths through finding that which resonated the most with me through the various belief structure of this planet. Good evening, Shelby. It's good to see you again. It has been a while, old friend. Would it surprise you to know that we were expecting you? Really? Quetzalcoatl is also 60 density group soul, social memory complex. Some refer to Quetzalcoatl as an ascended master. From Sirius, they are all from Sirius, the cradle of religions and cult that enslaved the masses, and here has enslaved. Although he would be most amused by that title, knowing as he does that mastery is still some way off at this point for him, as well as it is for ourselves as group soul Lucifer. One can be accurately described as having mastered a particular density, though mastery of the entire creational incarnation cycle does not occur until one has once again attained submergency back into the infinite creator, and it takes millions or millions of years, millions of sojourn around those constellations and planets, and if the kind of faith that we have, I call it faith because it's very difficult to get off it because of this controlling, the overlord is controlling everything. It's very hard for us to attain that point, which some call nirvana. Nirvana is when you finally re-emerge with the all and then give a rest to this tortured soul. We may choose to do so once attained 80 density ascension, or one may choose instead to progress up to the next octave of densities and beginning a new cycle of creational incarnation challenge. You see, incarnation for them, incarnation for us is reincarnation, for them is incarnation, because the two is not the same. Incarnation, you do time with the all. When everything comes to a conclusion, you finish your duty, then you indeed takes long, take millions of years to attain this goal, and then you, after doing time, is a soul vacation or conscience vacation, you again separate from the all. After re-merge with it, you want to divide again, separate, so wants to explore and experience things. However, we don't have to experience bad things. This was not supposed to be this way. This is just violation of free will. Incarnate doesn't mean that you have to suffer. This one's for the sadist, alright? The masochist who loves to suffer. You don't have to suffer to know. You already came knowing everything. But it was stripped from you, was extracted from your conscience in your blueprint. All this. This is my first time on earth in a long time, possibly ever. I have been known for quite some time and been told by another from one of the bloodlines in your group that I do not truly exist here. That's nonsense. But still your conscience is here. That means you exist. There's no such thing that do not exist here. Nevertheless, wanting it or not, you still exist here. Because your conscience is here. So when you wake up, during sleep, you lose your conscience, then you go back to your monad, go back to explore, go back to create with thoughts. It's only when you return to the body that you have a shock again, that you are still in the body, in this place trapped. Okay, then it sounds like sometimes like a nightmare, and when you sleep, finally we are free. You are correct in that you have not been here for substantial period of time, though not that you have never been here before. The group soul Quetzalcoatl enjoyed many density incarnational cycles here back in the classic Aztec period. They come from Sirius. He struggled at first with perfecting love for others. How is love for others when you cut the heart, you make offerings to Lucifer, and then you cut your heart, still beating, and then heads are rolling down those pyramids. I don't get it. I'm so sorry. I'm a very down to earth kind of person, and I do not believe, which held back his progression for some time. However, once he had come to the realization of our inherent unity, he was able to see himself in others. This took time because that was not what the culture was all about. It was about sacrifice to Lucifer, and your progression was rapid from there on in. Your Quetzalcoatl soul group attained positive harvest with a very impressive 76%. I just kind of wonder what positive harvest means to this being, this devil being. I don't know. For them, the positive harvest means doing sacrifice and all kind of nonsense and cults and a blind faith and blind worshipping. That's what he means by positive harvest. At the time of the subsequent harvest, they did that because they were bad. So since these beings are twisted, those who do good are seen as negative, and those who do positive things are seen as negative, and those who do negative seen as positive, because they are distorted. They distort all values. At the time of the subsequent harvest, naturally, when a group soul is undergoing incarnational cycle in third density, is individualized soul portion. Example, you are the ones who are doing the actual physical incarnations with the oversoul, the higher self, with your logo. Perhaps all of us here have a logo. This is what I believe, or the higher self, as a soul group. Like, for example, the Anglo-Saxons has there, the Latin people has there, the Asian has theirs, divided by sub-group, sub-race, sub-group, sub-ethnic group. The Afros have theirs, and so on and so forth. Of your individuated souls acting as the energy anchor in which the individual soul sparks are stepping down from. You spent a long time working your way through the fifth density, the density of wisdom or light. This one is doing the main part with an overabundance of compassion, which is not a bad thing, as compassion is one of the main things you work on at the fourth density. However, to graduate from 50 to 60 density, the density of unity, one must learn the balance between compassion and wisdom. The 60th density is hence sometimes known as the density of compassionate wisdom, due to one having learned the balance between the two. This required many incarnational cycles for you, and this density, they mean that we can even experience it here. We don't have to go about more hundreds of centuries in order to attain this state. This is a state of a conscience. Like Mother Teresa already was very high up in density and conscience. So I would say that she went on to 60 to 70 density, which is why you correctly feel that you have not visited the 30 density earth for a long time. I was not expected to show up. I originally had the other previous engagements, but I managed to get here at the last minute. One of the things I have remembered is that I'm too under contract. I'm a walk-in, if that makes sense to you. So my human family is not like me. I have spent a long time traveling to the various densities and helping the various revolutions here. There. Your insight serves you well, Shelby. This not only applies to you, but your entire soul group. Quetzalcoatl, the macrocosm of yourself, has been busy for the last two cycles working with a 50 density group on Alpha Centauri, their Alpha Centauri. This one is a lot of reptilian over there. And it's a bit quite strict, their planet. Those who does not attain success by hard work is publicly shamed and does not get equity in society. Or just like here, the beggars, nobody cares, right? It's the same thing in Alpha Centauri, who are experiencing similar problems with an overabundance of compassion at the cost of personal wisdom. You recently completed your assignment there and were eager not to miss out on the glorious opportunity to be a part of this great harvest. We still, your group, as I said, did eventually learn to balance love, light to graduate into the 6th density unity vibration. You still are very much prone to extreme compassion, and rather than take the usual period of time, space, antimatter universe where we rest between incarnations, you walk in to jump aboard this 30 density space time, well winged at this point, to be of assistance to your fellow beings here. My problem is that my memory has malfunctioned, and some of the things that I have remembered from my previous existence do not correspond to your words. I have met Lucifer and he is generous on more than one occasion. I would appreciate any information you may know of that could clear up my confusion as to why my thoughts are so jumbled up, because I know what my path is clearly and I'm waiting the starting point, but I'm not completely clear on what truly is happening here. Thank you for your time. You have indeed met with Lucifer before. On many occasions you have worked together on various council and confederation assignments. Use the gift of your dreamtime communications, which are important communications from your oversoul, and many other sources whereby information is downloaded. That's true. To plug into your inner data bank, yeah. Beginning recording everything you recall upon awaking, and do not give up on the process, even though it is hard at first. You will begin to slowly make sense of the information which is being downloaded into our memory bank, into your subconscious mind. When you become proficient at this and can use your dream time as a method of inner communication, ask our infinite creator to remind you of your time in the Zeta Reticuli system. You will remember, but the Zeta season Orion. You will remember then our last period of service together. I would hope we much fondness. Sadly, my time here is only permitted until Friday. Therefore, we will not communicate again after this message. So I wish you the very best with your assignment here, my friend, both your individual one and that your group soul. I ask that our infinite creator bless and guide your path. We look forward to seeing you on the other side when this grand ride is over. Our love, wisdom, and peace be with you. You mentioned Alcyone. It's interesting, there's a celestial map of it at the Hoover Dam. There's also a compass framed by signs of the zodiac. Indeed, just like in Hollywood productions, we hide the truth right out in the wide open. What humanity is offered in science fiction, more often than not, is actually science fact. Very well put. What do the winged stages commissioned by the US government guard the entrance at the dam represent? Is any of this collection of celestial symbolism found there connected to your luciferian alien equinox transformation agenda? That is actually very simple. You will note that the feet point directly toward the earth, and the hands and wingtips point directly up to the sky. The life force energy flows into the human mind, body, so complex from the earth up through the feet. The intelligent energy from the infinite creator flows down from above and in through the crown chakra. The wings represent our Lucifer's inherent divinity. You'll also note that the figure is seated. The seat of our Lucifer's power connects heaven and earth, and all things must pass through us. So I'm gonna read again just to make it master it up, the information about that statues that some people has in some culture. That winged can be a lion, can be anything, a monster. That is actually very simple. You'll note that the feet point directly downward to the earth, and the hands and wingtips point directly up to the sky. The life force energy flows into the human mind, body, soul complex. But which human? All of you humans, or only the those in power, like the Masons and the governments, the elite? Soul complex from the earth up through the feet. The intelligent energy from the infinite creator flows down from above and in through the crown chakra. The wings represent our Lucifer's inherent divinity. You also note that the fire is seated. The seat of our Lucifer's powers connects heaven and earth, and all things must pass through us. Oh dear. Oh dear, we are done. Other question I have, and sorry if you explain this. Are these bloodlines, though wealthy, as most assume, or semi-ordinary people, including celebrities and politicians, blending in with society, going relatively unnoticed, but yet contributing to your cause in the grander scheme of things, on the grand scale? The names you know have no real power. Sure, they appear to have laws of power. No, they don't. They're just minions. And the way earthbound souls perceive power. Our wealth makes the million and billionaire celebs and corporate big wings look like a child pocket money because they can multiply. You see, they can divide themselves like a amoeba, like that leech, and then they become many phalanges. Phalanges are legions. Our wealth is family wealth, which has passed down through the generations over thousands of years. True wealth, however, is knowing deep in your heart that you and your infinite Creator are one. That's true. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, infinite Creator, and all these things shall be added unto you. Now, yeah, it's true. But not the aliens God that they are being worshipping. But the infinite Creator, yeah, I believe so. And I want to ask it what it is doing that is not doing anything about all the things that go on around this quadrant of the universe. The violation of power, the abuse of authority. So part of this question could also be, are all of them aware they are part of this bloodline? Or some members oblivious to this connection they have? Are they informed of this at a particular age? For example, how and at what age were you told you belonged? Yes, if you are bloodline, family, you are born into it, and you are raised this way from birth. There's no other way. I want to be clear on this bloodline issue. The ones you know, they are of earthly or human lineage. Yes, they have their place in the family. It's an extension, they are hybrid. That means they are admixed hybrid. But the real power lines do not originate from this planet. So that means they say like, okay, let's see one example. The Americans who are born in the USA would have more power and sovereignty than Jews Americans who descend from Americans who were born in other countries, something like that. You see, so those here in power, the humans are just an extension of these beings because they are hybrids, in the soul level, not say on the body alone, but soul level, they are hybrid. Okay, they're not pure, but they're hybrid. And because they have born here, so they are not quite, does not quite belong to the family or their clan. Yes, if you are bloodline, okay, I have probably found this the single most insightful thing so far. It helps me to understand the answers to some of the questions I've asked. I'm glad it's probably the single most important thing that I have said. Unfortunately, its connotations also alleviate the NWO or NWD disorder of most accusations. That depends upon your perspective. Does it alleviate the negativity we have perpetuated? No. Does it alleviate the pain and suffering we have caused and are causing upon the planet? No. Does it alleviate that we are closing our ending game scenario and assume to openly come out and offer publicly to save the failing political and financial institution with our esteemed leadership? No. Does that mean that you should give into and feed the negativity? No. Does it alleviate that you will have to spend a cycle in karmic restitution to balance this lifetime of over negativity? No. So I'm very sorry for them, very sorry, but since they should have known, but since they are very, I would say, advised, so do they say, so does they say that they are more advised than us, consciously wise, etc. They should have known better than get into this type of a game of how to say cosmologic metaphysical game. Does it mean that you should use the negativity as the tool that is to show you that which you are not? Yes. So I'm gonna repeat. Does it mean that you should use the negativity as the tool that it is to show you that which you are not? Yeah, that means you come here and then you play a game and a project a side that you are not, a facet which you are not. It's like we are in the stage and then we are playing the bad guys, you understand? And then, but in reality of the stage, we are just a normal person. Can you understand what they mean? Remember always that this is a beautiful game that we are playing here and co-creating together with our infinite creator. And that off stage between lives, we are the very best of friends, and that no one really dies and no one really suffers except in the game. I hope so. I very, very much hope so. That will not suffer after we die. It's okay. I can even bear it here, but I cannot bear after I die. The game is not reality. Reality is reality. And you have the power to express your reality within the game. Once you have learned how to do so. Yeah, that's true. I understand what they mean. You are essentially saying that a soul can only choose positivity in a world where negativity also exists. If there were no protagonists in this world, there'd be no opportunity for a human soul to choose good or evil, and thus prove on a spiritual level that they deserve one afterlife fate over another. If we only had positivity to choose from, we'd learn nothing and our souls would manage to prove nothing. It's not that, it's just that this energy, that's the all, he wants to just come out of boredom and then try to be the bad guy, the good guy, the bad guy, the lucky warm one, the fence sitters, those who sit on fence, neutrals one, and so on and so forth, and just to prove his power and potential. That's it. That's how I see it. It's not exactly what he's saying. It's not that. It's just that he wants variety. You know, some people are just fed up to eat every time rice. So sometimes they want to eat pasta. And when they eat pasta, they want to eat something else. They want to eat, let's say, something like fruits, vegetables, because they are fed up of carbs. And that's how reality is, the ultimate reality which we do not see. It's about variant It's about experiencing itself anew at each moment of now. And we do have our humor. Sometimes we are up, sometimes we are down. That will depend on many factors, depending how is our lifestyle or our state of mind at the moment, etc. That's the reason why we came. It was a great sacrifice for us. Hard as it is to comprehend from within the mental confines of that density life experience, we do it because we love you. I start to understand more or less how is the game. Actually, also we make part of those beings. And then we are here to work for this great energy we call the infinite creator, the primordial creator. So we made a contract to come here and then experience all of this as if it were a game. And then we go back. But I hope when we go back, we not get trapped somewhere else and then stop and then return again and again and again and again. Because it's okay to play a game. It's okay for you to work at, let's say, 10 years, 5 years time. More than that, on the same workplace, it makes it very, very dull. It makes things very boring. And unless you are a stuck-it-up person, you would not like to have the same job for years on, like 40 years, 50 years. And the analogy I'm trying to pass here is that we don't have to play this game time and time again. We need to have a break. And I hope that when we die, at least we will be able to rest on the other side. You see? When you leave this body finally, I hope that you will have time to rethink what we could do from now on, what we want, and not be forced to take up take up the agenda against our will. And then we need to rest because this is a very tough game. Those planets in the solar system is a place of hard knocks, hard hardship, and a school of hard knocks with few alternatives for us to sometime take a break. Like many people walk, and if you can, you go and enjoy. Sometimes you go for a beach, you go for a resort, you travel, etc. This is a break, right? A vacation. The same thing, we need a soulcation where we can rest on the other side without being punished. There's no sense of hell and punishment. Is a nonsense thing. If you say all this here and then the reality is another, after we get off this body, then you are great charlatan. An extremely basic concept, but one I so far managed to overlook. Unfortunately, for those of us who love our earthly existence, or rather the potential it has, it's rather difficult to come to terms with a concept whereby suffering and slavery are a natural as love and happiness, and that only after this earthly existence can we ever be free. Really, I hope so. I really hope so. I don't know. But I ever dream of my sister and my mother who already has passed away. My mother 12 years ago, my sister Right this month, April, will be 1 year that she gone. And my sister would have be 62 year this March, last month, March. She will be 62 year. No, she was 62, whatever. Well, I dreamed that they came to my house, my mother and my my deceased mother and sister came, and then they invited me to her birthday party in another room. It was not in my house, of course. It was not on earth. It was in another place, and she invited me for her birthday party. Just me, my deceased mother, and her. And I was happy. I was very happy to. This happened last month, and I was very happy that I could be reunited with them. And then I get very sad when I wake up and see that it was all a dream, you know. And it's very seldom people who go through all those experiences where a loved one invites you to come to a birthday party or whatever, and they really invited me. So if by what I have seen of them, then yeah, they are still creating another world. They are still living and create. So there is hope for us not to be afraid of death. Okay, death is natural. What is not is to suffer in a um, impinge or inflict harm to other sentient being. But death is a process. Okay, it's a continuation of life. And based on what I have seen so far, and I hope that I might not be mistaken and I'm being just naive. I hope that the other side is what I have seen. Yours to use it. Can you look beyond what your eyes are showing you? On the other hand, my sister died, passed away in 2019, my mother in 2008, respectively. And I look like that my sister was doing pretty much better than my mother, because later I will tell why. And my brother passed away at 1973 when I was a little girl. And he didn't have a good life on this side. He was always around here on the earth asking for help. I would see him, but I didn't know what to do because I was a little girl. Okay, always saw him without a body because his body was not found. He had, let's say, he was murdered, and his body was never found. However, on my visions, I would see him without a body, just a head fly in the air. And that dream was constantly, and even my cousin also had a dream in which he would come and ask for help. And back then I didn't know what to do. I really was a young girl. I didn't have an idea of all this meaning, you see. I only wanted to play, so I didn't care about this stuff. But as I grew older, I came to understand, to realize what he meant. He needed help. So finally, after 10 years of my mother keep on praying for him, arrange prayer in the church for him, mass for him, mass prayer for his soul, you see. So after that he ascended, he came out from here. I'm gonna tell his story. He died in 73, and 10 years later, exactly in 1983, that time I was 17, I had got married. So what happened was that he came to me finally, when he ascended, 1 decade later, and he told me, no, he didn't told me, he passed imagery and thoughts to my head, and he called me to meet him in hell. Yeah, he was in hell, and I saw him under what they call it, um, cell, prison cell. He was in a prison cell. Why? I don't know. After the poor guy had a very terrible death without no formal funeral, still they put him in a hell. I found it so unfair. Back then, I was a little, not say a younger woman. 17, you was still stupid. You didn't know what to do, what to make up of it, of that vision. And then he was there, but that time, while on earth, when he came to me, he was always laughing, smiling, very happy, because he was free on the beach. I guess that they buried him on the beach, because I've seen him always on the beach there. How to say, gallivanting, wandering around without nowhere to go. And he was always happy. He appeared to me always happy. And when this time around, when he ascended, finally, and he was placed in hell, he was not happy. He was very serious this time and sad. And I didn't know what to do of it. I really don't know. And then he came to me, and then I saw a lot of it, what looked like dinosaurs, monsters outside the prison cell in hell. In hell, guarding the entrance of that cell, the sector of that jail. It was a jail. And then, but I could go through, I could go through outside there. I was a spy and watching my brother inside the cell. From outside, I could see him. The place was not hell. There was no fire. I didn't see any fire, but there was a cell, a prison. And then outside, there was a lot of monsters that come out fire from the mouth, like dragons. And then he told me, God is not what people think it is. I will help you, but I'm not free right now to help you. He said, I wish I could help you. I said, he didn't say I will help you. He said, I wish I could help you, but I cannot right now as I'm not free. People think he was not free, but I wish I could help you. And then it was the last time I saw my poor brother. I really loved him, even though he was older than me by how many years? 13 years older than I. He died at the age 21 and 73. And he said he would help me, and he really helped me a lot. I guess that he helped me to go through all my ascension, all that I came to know. Maybe he helped me the other side. However, I guess that he reincarnated as my son. He's my second son and the fourth child. The last child is a boy. Same face, same behavior, same feature, same skin color, same hair, everything, the nose. And yeah, I guess that he reincarnated. And although sometimes we quarrel, we never quarrel in life because I was too young for him that time. But right now, as a son and mother, we quarrel, but I know that he still loves me and I love him. You see, so this is the beauty of everything, the beauty of life, is that sometimes your loved ones who went away come back, and then most of you don't know. My granddaughter now, my number one, my teddy granddaughter. I got three granddaughter and three grandson. She may be the reincarnation of my mother. I can notice that in her. Or she's the reincarnation of my mother. I understand our job is to provide the catalyst, yours is to use it. Can you look beyond what your eyes are showing you? You find and express your love and happiness in a world of fear and distress. If you can, you'll be as a beacon of light into the darkness. Will you succumb to the darkness, or will you stand and shine your divine inner light? Only you can make that decision for yourself. But sometimes very hard, very, very hard, but not impossible if we try. Think about this. If the one infinite creator is infinite, it has created everything there is, which it is and it has, then does the infinite creator not reside within all things? Sure. Why not? Sure it does. It is everything there is. When you can see the divine spark of the infinite creator, even within those who would be mean you harm, the strong grip of the illusion will begin to lose its power over you. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Thank you, hidden hand. Whether you are genuine or not, you've certainly got me thinking and learning. You are very welcome. I'm genuine, but would it matter even if I were not? Remember, it's not who the messenger is that is of the greatest import, but rather it is the nature of the message itself. I wish you well on your journey home. We all see you on the other side, and we'll have a good old laugh about the parts we have played in this grand drama. Is there any way to conceal this restriction? Because I could be just very lazy, or under this kind of spell, and want to know which one it is. Does sleep paralysis have anything to do with it? Because I get that from time to time, with or without shadow figures. Yeah, for me, it is because dark forces come and disturbs you. There is research and employ psychic shielding techniques. There is much information on the internet, so I need not spend the little time we have left going to that. Read the many sites and listen to your inner voice. Your soul will guide you if you ask it. It speaks in the language of feelings. When it just feels right, usually it is. No, sleep paralysis is unrelated. That occurs when your brain awakes from the dream state before your body. Risk going through REM deep sleep. It's natural for your body to become paralyzed during the REM cycle so as to prevent possible injury. Result dreaming. Sometimes when you wake too quickly from a dream, your body just thinks you are still dreaming, and just the REM paralysis continues for a while, usually until you shake yourself awake, often due to difficulty to breathe. No, not always. Sometimes dark energies around. I know it happened to me. And another question, because when I wake up, I saw the being going down the bed. It was dinosaur, not dinosaur, what they call crocodile. Crocodile represents reptilian. And I was 15-year-old at that time. And another question, is it possible that SNC can be destroyed in the coming times, or is that just another scare tactic? No, cannot. SNC will never be destroyed. No, your SNC can never, right on. Your SNC can never be destroyed. You are a unique part of the one infinite creator. You are an internal soul, currently reside in a physical shell that you could call an earth suit. Yeah, your earth suit will perish, but you cannot die. Nothing can destroy the infinite creator, and you and the infinite creator are one. True. I go to work to pay my bills. I live a good life with friends, loved ones, people I care about. I'm essentially a good person, but I do have the full range of emotions as a real human. Example, jealousy, hate, etc. I guess I would describe myself as a lukewarm, to use your phrase. How can, as an individual, take what you say as the truth? I think because this guy didn't still learn how to appreciate what he has. He's got a good life, a good life, a job, friends, relatives, and still he is not grateful for what he has. Maybe his souls look for more than that. What he has is not enough. He wants to find out more. So he gets sometimes restless because something is missing in his life. No one is asking you to. Never take what another says to you as a truth. Your purpose here is to find your own truth. Sometimes others can help you to do so by offering guidance, but for that truth to become your truth, it must pass through the best of your discernment. Sit quietly in meditation and ask the infinite creator to guide your path. Meditate upon that which I have shared and listen to your inner feelings. Yep, they are the language of your soul. Yep. Use all your negative emotions as they arise as the tools that they truly are. Train yourself to notice when negativity arises in you. When you catch yourself projecting a negative thought, remember that all thought is creative and ask yourself if that's really what you want to create. It takes a while to become proficient, but do not give up. Just keep noticing your negative thought patterns as they arise. And in so doing, simply choose again and select a response that is more positive. It's called working on yourself, and is the main reason you have chosen to be here right now, to work upon yourself. I wish you well in your transformation process. I also read through the above link from one calling themselves the Insiders, although her posts were less sophisticated than yours. Was he your predecessor, one of your what's this link charged with this disclosure? A good question. I have just read through that material. It was very interesting. No, not a predecessor of mine, and not a disclosure I was previously aware of, which I had it come from my family. Would it be highly strange, though I note that he himself stated that he is from a minority, and certain clues within his writing gives me a very good idea which one. I would say his material is around 60% accurate. The feelings I get is another alien. The feelings I get from reading him are not that he intentionally included inaccurate information, but that he was just not in possession of the bigger picture. Were he to be from the minority group, I believe him to be from that would make perfect sense. So when the harvest comes, my time here is over and this conscious shell I live in is no more. What then? What happens to me? What happens to my friends and loved ones? Are we, and by we I mean the vast majority of us who possess this planet, this dimension, this density, by and large, going to be ignorant of the events you foretell? This is a good question. I like questions that come from the heart. It depends upon the circumstances surrounding your final moments of this particular lifetime. For example, let us say that the physical aspect of you wants to do the thing called die during the coming earth changes, like from a virus or whatever, from this disaster that they bring. You will immediately return to that wondrous realm in which we reside in between incarnation, and then create, at first they will create the thought before the big picture come in, and then they come to reality, that which we call time, space, or antimatter. This is the place that humans refer to as heaven. There you shall meet with all those you love who have also died during this life experience, and enjoy a wonderful and emotional reunion. Actually, some of us are there already. Even as we are here, we can be there and they can be here with us. A part of them, a part of us are there with them. You will meet up with your soul group and your spiritual teachers. Our soul group is from the same God self and DNA. We all store a portion of our soul energy on the other side. They take replicas of us. You see, it's like a disc, and then kind of upload onto the other side. But it's just a replica, I would say, something not genuine. When we come here, so we all store a portion of our soul energy on the other side. So they take a replica of ourselves, and then they live on the other side when we come here. Depending upon the difficulty level of the life experience we've chosen, we take more or less of our energy with us. So we leave some of our energy on the other side when we come here. Depending on the task that we are required to take here, we will take more or less. You see, the more harder that we're gonna have here, the more energy will be required to bring along with us. For an average lifetime, we typically bring between 60 over 8% of our soul energy into incarnation with us. Therefore, even if ones you love who are already back in the world of spirit have incarnated again on another adventure, oh my God, this means even if my mother or my sister is already reincarnated, when I reach there, I'm still gonna find another portion of them, just a portion, but not them completely. There will still be a part of the energy there to meet with you and welcome you home. You will then evaluate your life experience with your teachers or mentors, and learn the lessons of your successes and your mistakes. You will then spend time in learning and resting before beginning to plan your next incarnation. No, this will be reincarnation. That's not be incarnation anymore. Incarnation when we come, incarnate, and then do our time, and then we go and stay there for many years, millennium with the awe, and then later we choose to forget everything again and incarnate again. Let's say now we are human, and next time we can be anything, a star, an animal, an alien, whatever we choose to be, from our free will, without being caused, without being forced to undertake any mission that we do not want to. For those who do not physically die before the great harvest arrives, there will be a moment of 0 point time where you will enjoy an ecstatic immersion with the infinite Creator, giving you a wonderful reminder and reassurance of who and what you really are. This happened to me. Before the veil of forgetfulness once again descends upon you, and I will be transported to the place that waits you. Depending upon whether you join us in the first DCT negative unlikely, graduate to first DCT positive possible, or go to another similar three-dimensional DCT planet for the lucky worms to continue on your learning for however many cycles it takes you to graduate to first DCT positive. Those in this category will not remember anything at the time of your transition. It will be just like nothing has changed, except you will retain the memory of your 0 point experience to encourage you. You will not remember the recent experiences of the harvest in this life here. It's not bad, all this. It just be as though you all had some mystical experience, and life will continue as normal for you. I'm gonna read one more time, and for me this is just terrible to erase our conscience, our memory. For those who do not physically die before the great harvest arrives, so for those who, like us, we stay here right now, there will be the moment of 0 point time. This happened to me in 2012, where we enjoy ecstatic immersion with the infinite Creator, giving you a wonderful reminder and assurance of who and what you really are before the veil of forgetfulness once again descends upon you, and you will be transported to the place that waits you. Depending upon whether you join us in the first DCT negative unlikely, graduate to the first DCT positive possible, or go to another similar 3D density planet. It is just terrible for the lucky worms to continue in your learning for however many cycles it takes you to graduate to first DCT positive. That's terrible. Those in this category will not remember anything at the time of your transition. Those who go back again to that DCT, oh my God, that's the luck worm gonna be terrible. It will be just like nothing has changed, except you will retain the memory of your 0 point experience to encourage you. You will not remember the recent experiences of the harvest in this life here. It just be as though you all had some mystical experience, and life will continue as normal for you. That's not good. That's no good. I find you difficult to believe, and you in respond and inform in a very sophisticated manner. It's quite intriguing. That's good. I do not want for you to blindly believe in me. Too many on this planet spend their entire lifetime doing and thinking things because others say that they are true. What I want is that my words become a catalyst for you. That's what we came here to do. If my words cause you, even if for just a short time, to stop for a moment and evaluate that which you think you already know about the nature of life and take for granted as being true because everyone else believes it, then my time will have been well spent. My desire is that you become an authentic human being, thinking and feeling and deciding for yourself what feels like truth for you. I wish you well in your endeavors. You can't provide one shred of proof that this isn't a hoax, even though it would be incredible easy to do so. Were you who you claim you are? Won't, not can't, big difference. This is not intended to be an objective lesson, prophecy fulfillment. If you think I thought that I would be blindly believed, or even wanted for that to happen, you are very much mistaken. I would be disappointed if that were to be the case, for you will have learned nothing from my time here. Not you personally, I mean you as a people or a species in general. My task here, as has been my task incarnation here for thousands of years, is to provide a catalyst to make you think again, not you personally, I mean in general. If I were to give you the proof that you are looking for, if I were to predict things and tomorrow they all happen before your very eyes, people would likely take everything I've said here as a gospel. That would be disastrous were that to occur, because you have learned nothing for yourselves. It's not about me, I'm just a messenger. It's all about you, again, generally speaking, and what you do in relation to the catalyst. Question what you think you know about reality. Seek the infinite creator within you and ask for its guidance. Ask and you will receive. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened for you. I'm a 32-degree Mason, although if you are a real royal bloodline person, you would know that it means nothing. If you have genuinely attained the level of sublime prince of the royal secret, though the Scottish Rite or that of the Order of the Knights Templar, through the York Rite, and have not been taught of the truth of creation, then I would be very interested indeed to know which area lodge you attend, as I would very much like to speak with your current worshipful master. Naturally, I completely understand and respect if you do not wish to make some personal details known publicly though. Of course, what you said in another post about there only being 3 degrees is true for those attending the blue or craft lodges, though as you stated that you are 32 degree, I'm presuming you are either Scottish Rite or the York Rites or its equivalent. I hope to be able to be present personally in the event that you are ever invited to progress beyond the 33 degree. I would like to be the one tasked with introducing you to Lucifer. I expect you will likely come back and say how there is no further progression between 33 degrees. Well, if you are lucky, there will be a nice surprise in store for you somewhere down the line. I sincerely hope that make it that far. That you are repeating debunking the conspiracy theory shows you are just here to hoax. That word debunked always brings me a hearty laugh. Some people seem to think that throwing the word debunked around means that it really has been. The vast majority of debunking has more holes in it than the conspiracy theories. It's meant to be silencing, just enough of a shell to help those who really don't want the truth to be true, to carry on believing that it's not, so they can replace their heads back into the sand for a while longer. Anyway, I must press on with the question from Jews with open minds. I leave you with my regards. Keep up your good work. Over the course of my life, I have occasionally resorted to prayer, some formal and some not, with truly astounding and nearly instant physical results. I have taken these results to heart as personal evidence that some higher force or forces can respond in a meaningful manner that at least me and perhaps to anyone. Still, I don't rule out the possibility of coincidence. From your vantage point, would you please be gracious enough to shed light on this phenomena? There is no such thing as a coincidence. Nothing happens by chance. Life is in a constant process of communication with us. Only mostly people are too busy to notice. Our infinite Creator longs to be close to us. In truth, He is closer than most should believe. They just don't notice Him. As they pass Him by on the street every day, when He gives them their change at the shop, when you tuck her into bed and give her a kiss good night, when you squash Him as He's running up your bathroom wall towards His web, when there is no one else in the room but you. The main reason people don't have their prayers answered is because they do not really believe that they will. Don't have faith in our infinite Creator. Have trust in Him. The most powerful form of prayer is thanksgiving. For even before you ask, I have already given it unto you. Thanksgiving is knowing that the infinite Creator has provided for you as He promised it, and being thankful for that. Even before you see the results, the more we trust in our Creator, the more results we get. Life gives us what we expect we will receive, because and what we think we deserve, because all thought is creative. If we get up and expect to have a bad day, more often than not, that's exactly what we'll get. But remember that it works both ways. And this one would be the Hoxie Sock Puppet, new name all posted as the trend, acting as the coach for the OP, created to give him/her the aura of credibility. Oh dear, you really are desperately crushing at the straws. Any administrator can have the power to see if I'm using multiple accounts. I would be more than happy for an administrator to say if I am, because I'm not. 2 accounts will show for me hidden hand. My first one that I never got the confirmation email for, and this one hidden hand, the one I did get the confirmation for. My infinite Creator gives me the only credibility that I need, or that I want for that matter. Hidden hand, I've enjoyed your radio post, if for nothing then the usual for ATS resolution way, fact that it isn't bullet hole with bad bad writing, drama and types. May I respectfully recommend that you shoot another video next time? I like Project Camilo myself. In any case, I'm still reading with an open mind, but a skeptical mind. Thank you. We are aware of Project Camelot. They are doing some remarkable work, though I was not aware they also have a forum, if that's what you are suggesting. Not really my area usually, dealing with the internet. In fact, I rarely have time to even venture into it. I have quite enjoyed this time of relating to others over cyberspace. Well, if you are game for an assignment, or maybe someone else, if you haven't the time, I would be happy for someone to collate this topic minus the interruptions, so that the message appears with just the actual flow of questions and answers, and post it there in one piece if you so desire. As I mentioned before, I should say yes as I was really reliably informed that is one of the forums with a higher rate of intelligence and reasoning among its members. On the whole, from my experience here, I would tend to agree. Though if you think it would be of value to Camelot, by all means, you are most welcome to spread this message. The more people it can reach, the better. I have very few dreams nowadays, but I had one last night, and it urged me to pose a question to you. I find it amazing that out of all the topics the universe has to offer, it offers me this. Nothing by chance, sir, nothing by chance. Dreams are key method our soul use to speak ties. The conscious mind is too busy and distracted most of the time to hear what the spirit has to say. So it tends to use the subconscious instead. Hidden hand, I have for my whole life searched near and far for answers to questions. When I read your words, I'm compelled from within to explore the complete meanings and truthfulness. I'm forced to examine them to the fullest, and I'm charged with comparing them to the truth within me. That's precisely the way it should be. Again, I would encourage you not to just blindly accept what I say as the truth. It never was my intention that anyone should make such an error in judgment. That's not to say that most words are not true, but that one must weigh them up, meditate upon them, and decide for yourself in the light of your intuition and inner feelings whether or not these words feel true for you. Hidden hand, my questions are posed to you with the greatest respect and humility. Who will stand before when we are all called home? Who will you stand before when we are all called home? We shall stand, as all shall, before our infinite Creator. We already know that which awaits us in our coming forth density negative polarity world. We shall have to experience the negativity of our own creation and know what it feels like. We shall have to work off the karmic effect of our actions, but at the same time knowing that this is a beautiful intricate game that we are all co-creating here together. We also know that we shall be rewarded with a hearty thank you and job well done for the sacrifice we have made, and bring this negative polarity into your game for you, that you may use it wisely to see that which you are not. Ay, what a mess. I see it as a mess, and I really don't understand. How is that? Is the idea of the prime creator infinite creator, whatever, that we come here to show a part of the eyes which we are not. Let's say stupid, bad, unconscious, etc. Okay, that's one thing. We come here because once their idea or his idea or its idea to come here and then become stupid. I would say stupid. Lack of conscience is stupidity to me. Okay, up to now, okay. And then he said that he will have to pay karmic debt because they, as the devil, whatever, come here to tempt the people, and then the people fall for it. The people will have to pay for it, and the karmic court or karmic universe, karmic laws, whatever. So the question is, how is that? How to understand this dichotomy that or paradox when its idea of this being, and then he himself punish one part of himself, of itself, a microscopic part of itself, for the choice that he himself created. How to understand? And second is, why would they be thanked for? Why would they be appraised for their job well done, for coming here and commit all kind of havoc, all kind of chaos and destructions in here, nothing but evil deeds? How's that they are commended for that and then given a heartful thank you and job well done? It's real beyond me. So unless this creator he's talking about is a devil, Lucifer, Satan, whatever, then I don't have another explanation, you see, on why a creator would say thank you and a job well done for a job not well done, which through, I mean, given our perspective, through and given our perspective here on the third density, that a bad is a bad, a good is a good, and cannot have middle term. So how to understand all this really is very mind-blowing. It's boggle our mind. Thank you for question. We wish you all the very best and ask our infinite creator, who is our infinite creator, to bless your path. As you will be leaving us this Friday, I would be interested in finding verification for other possible sources of information for this knowledge. You have mentioned the Ra channelings, but I also see similarities in 3 other sources which have been discussed in this and other forums on the internet. I would appreciate your evaluation of the information come from these sources in the light of your messages. They are ASIM, ACIM, A Course in Miracles, alleged legend by the Christos, the Edgar case material in which the Ra entity may have played a part, and the Terra papers. Can Jews of us seeking to continue our understanding of these matters find anything of use from these sources? ACIM has some core truths within it, is mainly along the lines of the law of radiation and attraction, but it's also littered with inaccuracies. I'm not aware of the Terra papers. This one was from a Native American man. There are many distortions within it. Edgar Cayce's work is significant. There are many distortions within it, but for ones who are of discerning mind, there is much strong meat to be ingested from its reading. Keep an open mind, but weigh it all up, as you should any philosophy that you allow to enter into the sacred space of your mind, and take the truths that resonate with you. Also, if you mention two prior contacts, 99 and 2003, can you shed some more light in specifics on those sources, as I assume they are not to be considered privileged to those who ask? Unfortunately, that's beyond my remit, though 2003 material was removed by the administration of the site. It was shared as they felt it was causing too much controversy, and the 99 material was not released for the same reasons as that which I'm sharing here. There was much truth within it, but our goals have changed in many ways since that time. It's because humans are stupid, they are stuck up in religion, they cannot open their mind to the new possibilities and new materials or information. And it would be misleading for me to point you in this direction now. In fact, I have been specifically instructed by my own upline not to do so. I'm sorry. Thank you for your assistance. Namaste. Okay. Namaste to you too. We ask that the infinite creator blesses you and guides your path. I want a hidden hands to read something called The Loved One. I've only picked it through it, having just stumbled on it after reading the three posts, but it is remarkably similar. So this is the hoax source, or is that book said the truth? Maybe yes, could you respond? I have already made reference to it, the raw material element of the book. As I stated then, yes, it is the most accurate public information available in this world currently, and I strongly recommend its reading to anyone with an inquiring mind. I read some, but not all of the books when they first came out some 5 years ago or so, and is very similar to the knowledge my family has and have passed down for many generations. Is approximately 85.9% accurate. The inaccuracies occurred when the channel was once weak and were not intentional. We know Ra, the entity, very well, and are happy that they are even now still working here on this planet behind the scenes to prepare for the great harvest. Those are all Lucifer. I believe that he can become is a multiple parts of him. He can become this and that, and then he will fool people. Ra, Horus, Hathor, Ha-Isis, Selket, Sekhmet, all this for me is him. I think I'm up to date with your questions now. If I have missed any that are not unimportant ones, such as what car I drive for example, then please let me know. We have 2 sessions left together and then I must take my leave. We look forward to see you tomorrow. So next time will be the 4th session, and then that's it for video number 4, I guess, or number 3, not sure.